Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today's quick tip, we're going to make this really cute cupcake. And the stamp set we're using is called Sweet Cupcake, and it's a 3-step stamp set. So let me show you how I'm storing my images. So when you get the stamp set, you also get this little sheet. Let me try to get it out of here. Inside the case. So I'm just taking all the images off and putting them in the case, and I'm keeping this sheet inside the back cover of the DVD case. And then this is telling me right where my images are. And you're going to notice that Stampin' Up! Has labeled each step. So for like the cupcake, this would be 1, 2, and then the 3rd step of the 3-step stamp set. And then for the bottom part of the cupcake, you have step 1, 2, and 3. But for me, I'm stamping it backwards today. So we're going to stamp with 3 first, then 2, and then the number 1 will be the 3rd step. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense as we go along. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I already have all the images on their blocks. Okay, so let me show you here. Now this would be considered the 3rd step. This is considered the 1st step. So we're doing it backwards. So I'm going to stamp with this image first, then the 2nd one second, and then the 3rd one will be the actual number 1. But I guess it's just however you want to use your 3-step stamp set. Okay, so we're going to use the crumb cake and the early espresso classic ink. So like I said, I'm going to start with the number 3 stamp first. So we're going to stamp with the crumb cake. Okay, then number 2 is going to be also with crumb cake. Okay, and then number 3 is going to be with the early espresso. But this is actually the number 1 on your stamp set. Okay, super cute. All right, so now let's move along to the cupcake part. Okay, so for the cupcake, we're using the pink Pirouette and the Watermelon Wonder. Once again, I'm starting with the number 3 image on the stamp set. So this would be my number 1. I'm going to use the pink Pirouette. Don't want to put my head in the camera here. Okay, then number 2 is number 2. We're using the pink Pirouette. Okay, and then number 3, we're going to use the Watermelon Wonder. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap. Okay, so we're going to use the number 3, which is considered the number 1 in the stamp set. I know that's going to be really confusing. But even if you did start with number 1 and go to number 2 and number 3 as it's listed in the stamp set, I'm sure you can't go wrong. Okay, so Watermelon Wonder, we're just going to stamp off to make it a little bit lighter of a shade, and then put this onto the cupcake. It's the last step. Oh my gosh, isn't it cute? All right, so then for my card here, let me show you how I got that and You're the Sweetest. So in this stamp set, you also have this greeting, and it's normally just straight, but with the photopolymer, you can curve it. So you're just going to put a slight curve to this stamp, kind of like that. I'm going to ink it up with the Watermelon Wonder, and then you just stamp over top of the cupcake, just like that. Okay, so that's how I did that. And then I added a little bit of Wink of Stella, of course. Okay, so now for all the measurements, those are listed on my blog. If you click the link below to take you right to my blog to get the measurements of this card and the other items that I used. All right, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.